Hey guys, welcome back. It's Wood with Blue Collar Talent Scouts down here in Galveston, Texas on a Friday afternoon. Just relaxing under the blue sky and thinking a little bit more about employee retention. Had a thought for you. Would you trust a trainer to train your people whose approach is like what I'm about to describe? Had this situation come up about 10 or 15 years ago with a company I worked for. We had mindfulness training. Hey, it was sort of faddish at one point, but it's actually pretty good training in the sense that it helps you really kind of focus on the moment, focus on what's going on, be authentic. And so I was pretty excited about it. The training was done in two parts. It was done by an outside trainer, and I had to organize as the HR manager for my region. I had to organize the training sessions, where they'd be, hotel, arrange for the food, arrange for the lodging, arrange for travel from the airport to the hotel, that type of thing. So I did all that. The first week of the training, the trainer comes in. His name, well, we'll call him Dr. Bill. Dr. Bill comes in and he actually does a pretty good job of training the first day. The second day we actually arranged to have dinner across the parking lot from the hotel at an Italian restaurant, invite him along. He comes out. And Dr. Bill was hangry, as they say. So we've got a group of about 20 people. We're back in a special room. They didn't even make us wait to get us seated. And then he comes, the waiter comes out, starts taking our orders, and Dr. Bill goes off on him. You need to go in and order, take our orders for food. We're hungry, And I was noticing this and kind of taken aback, but I had several managers who also noticed this. And that was the type of thing that kind of stood out to us all as it went on. The gentleman, the waiter, did a great job with all our people. He got our drink orders, got our food out as quickly as possible, and everything was golden. Got a pretty good tip too, not just because he did a good job, but sort of as an apology, thank you for putting up with the antics that we had earlier that evening. Well, 3-4 weeks later, we had our second session. We had to go through and do a project in the meantime and then present the results of that project to the rest of the group. So we did that. We're in a different hotel. We actually had a very nice meeting room. It was the executive conference room, and so we're in this room. We're having our meeting. Each group does their presentation as to the project they've done, and at the end of it, we're in small groups. We're having sort of a debrief, and Dr. Phil had everyone put their projects on butcher paper, had taped it up to the wall. And he starts going around the room, pulling the butcher paper down. Well, the tape he'd used was probably not the right type of tape to use, because as he was pulling it off the wall, he started tearing the wallpaper in some pretty big spots on the wall. And as a guy who had to deal with the hotel staff, check out with the account manager and so forth, I was a little concerned. So I went to him and I said, "Hey, Bill, what do you think we should do about the wallpaper?" And his response was this: let's just don't say anything and see if they notice or not. If you were looking for someone to do training for your group, would Dr. Bill be the type of person you want to do in the training? Probably not, I'm going to guess. Here's the point though. There's a lot of times that we have that kind of do as I say, not as I do approach with our people. And we're somewhat inauthentic. And so it's at times you need to take a step back and realize when you're inauthentic with your people, when you are less than trustworthy, if you haven't built credibility and trust, then at that point, people have options these days. They can go somewhere else. So here's the deal. If you've got, if you're the kind of manager who on occasion has shaved hours off an employee's time card without getting their approval, if you're the type of manager who has asked employees to do work off the books at your house and maybe thrown them a $20 tip, if you're the type of manager who has asked employees to handle hazardous substances in a less than legal way. By the way, those are all things I've had to deal with through my years in HR. Then you're probably not building the kind of credibility you need to keep your people. Hey, we hear a lot about the war for talent. The war for talent is real, especially in the trades right now. People have options. Every company is looking for that one more tech that can fill a truck and run calls pretty much right away. Don't be someone who is driving people away by making them feel ill at ease or unease by the fact they can't trust you. You can be hard-nosed, you can be straight up, you can be truthful, brutally honest, but you got to be someone who does that in a very consistent, natural way, and deals with things as they come. Yeah, we got people that work for us that probably we need to replace or need to upgrade, as they say in the trades, but the other side to it is you're driving off the wrong people if you aren't building credibility and trust. Just a thought. Hope that's not you. Hopefully you can sit back and say, that would never be me. But I've seen and worked with too many managers who at one time I thought were really good and sooner or later ended up sitting in when they were termed because they were ripping off grandma. That's a different story. I can tell you that one if you want some other time. But I'm going to check out for now. You guys have a great day. Hopefully your week is good, and hopefully you're able to keep your people.